So, if you haven't been keeping up, Ariana Grande is on tour right now, and a lot of people are concerned about how extremely thin she looks. But we have two different sides of this argument. We have one side that's saying this is the healthiest that Ariana has been, and she has told us herself. And on the other side, they're saying no, clearly something is wrong. She's extremely thin and she looks unwell, and she has a lot of power and influence, and a lot of young girls look up to her. And so today I thought that we could look at both of these arguments and decide who's right and who's wrong. But before we get into the video, hi, my name is Sadia, and I like to talk about pretty much anything and everything pop culture. So if you're interested, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Okay, let's get into the video. First of all, I want to apologize for my voice. I am sick. I don't know how I managed to get sick as soon as the weather got nice. I was fine when it was snowing and raining back to back, but as soon as I see a bit of sunlight, my immune system betrays me. But let's get into Ariana Grande. There's been a lot of conversations that's been happening the last couple of years about Ariana Grande and her body. She has lost a lot of weight. Like, we can't act dumb and pretend like we don't notice. Like, she's extremely thin to the point where a lot of people are saying, girl, like something is going on, like you're not okay. But every time people bring up Ariana Grande's bodies, there's two different conversations happening, right? On one side, we have people that are obsessed with pointing out that Ariana Grande has an ED. Like, it's giving a lot of like projection, like the way they're calling it out is not in a healthy way, but more of like, it's like accusations. It's pointing out. It's like, oh, look, she did that. She did that. She did that. She has an ED. I know her. It's not coming from a genuine place, and you can tell. But on the other side, we have Ariana Grande's fans who are in complete denial for some reason. And every time people bring it up, they get very defensive and they're like, you don't know what you're talking about. She's healthy. She said she's healthy, okay? In fact, she said this is the healthiest that she's ever been, and we shouldn't talk about women's bodies. And it's like, girl, like we have eyes, right? We can see. Clearly something is wrong. Like, I don't know why they're pretending like, or they want us to act like we don't notice it. It's like this weird like cognitive dissonance that's happening, and they're just so quick to just shut it down. Like, they're so defensive about it, and it's not helping, right? Now, here's my thing. I know this is a very sensitive topic, and I don't know Ariana. She could be healthy for all I know, right? I wouldn't know. I don't know her. But at the end of the day, let's be honest, right? If you saw anybody, right? Like, let's say not even anybody. If your friend showed up one day after you didn't see her for a couple of months and she looked like Ariana Grande, would you not be concerned? Would you not be like, girl, like, are you okay? What's going on? Like, let's not act like she doesn't look extremely unhealthy. Like, matter of fact, take a picture of Ariana Grande, like this picture right here, and show it to anybody. Like, pick a random person from any part of the world, show them this picture. If you ask them, does this person look healthy? What are they going to say? Everyone's going to have the same reaction, because it's not normal to see somebody looking like this. Let's not act dumb. That's one thing I don't like about this whole conversation, is people that are acting dumb. But there's malnourished kids who don't even look like this. Anybody would assume that you're either starving or that there's something, like you're sick. And another thing that Ariana Grande fans love to bring up is Chadwick Boseman. For some reason, like every time someone brings up Ariana Grande, they bring up Chadwick Boseman, and they're like, do you remember when everybody was bringing up Chadwick Boseman and then he ended up having cancer? Like, this is why we shouldn't talk about people. But he died. Are we forgetting that? He died. There was a reason people were bringing it up. Like, he looked unhealthy. He looked unwell. And it's very sad, and it's not the same thing. He had cancer. But let's not act dumb. Like, there was a reason people were concerned. Obviously, there was people who were being rude and weird and making fun of him. Yes, that is true. But that's just the internet. Like, why are we acting like we haven't been here before? We've been on the internet for so many years. There's horrible people, right? And you can't use that as an argument to just shut down the conversation. Because yeah, there was people that were being rude about Chadwick Boseman, but a lot of people were shocked for a reason, right? We're human beings. When you see somebody look like that, your initial reaction is to be concerned, to be shocked. Like, it's not normal. I just don't like how people use that to get away from the main topic of conversation, which is that Ariana Grande looks extremely, extremely unwell. I'm seeing bones that I've never seen before. I've never seen bones like that before. Bro, if I saw anybody looking like that, I'll be like, are you okay, girl? Is everything okay? Now, is it my place to say that? No. But at the end of the day, like, I know myself, and I know that I'm doing it out of concern, not malicious intent. Now, does that mean that there's people who are not doing it to be malicious? No. That of course exists, but two things can be true at once. And another thing that I didn't even know, right? Because I'm an Ariana Grande fan. I love her music, but I wouldn't consider myself a fan in terms of like, I was never really there from like the beginning. I wasn't there during Victorious. Like, I'm not like an obsessed fan. Like, I don't know the ins and outs of her life and like her history, her personal life. I don't know a lot about that. But a lot of people were pointing out that she had an era during Tumblr where she used to post a lot of ED kind of related content as well. Now, when there's a pattern like that, why would it be crazy for people to assume that she has an ED? Like, what? Why are we acting dumb? Like, bro, obviously there's a pattern here. It's not coming out of nowhere. And I understand this is a very sensitive topic, but I don't like the way they're just shutting it down. Every time someone brings it up, they're like, no, you can't talk about women's bodies. You can't. It's like, what? You can't just use that every time you don't like what people are saying about your fave. Right? At some point, we have to use our eyes. We have eyes we can see. We're not dumb. We're not blind. Especially when it comes to female celebrities. I feel like people put them on this crazy pedestal. And there's always like a hate train going on with a lot of female celebrities all the time. Like random, they just come out of nowhere. They target one woman, bring her down, go to the next one, right? And I'm always the first one to defend them, but I feel like this is different. This is scary. Ariana Grande is very, very famous and very influential. And she has a lot of young women who look up to her, who are watching her. And for her to say that this is the healthiest that she's ever been, looking like this, is kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy. It's sending a crazy message to the young girls that are going to her concerts. And that should not be a crazy thing to say. That should not be a controversial thing to say, right? And I know a lot of people are going to say, but some people are that skinny. Some people do look like that. But Ariana doesn't though. Or she didn't at least. Like her weight has fluctuated, right? But I don't think she's always looked like that. There's a reason people, if she always looked like this, nobody would be saying anything. And I understand there's so much societal pressure on women, the way we present ourselves, our bodies. And I can only imagine what it's like when you're that famous, right? Like even for me, in my basic little tiny little life, I feel like there's a lot of pressure on me and the way that I look and my weight. And I feel like people are judging me. Now imagine when you're that famous. I sympathize. I really do. Is it empathize or sympathize, by the way? I feel like I always mix up those two. I never know which one it is, but whichever one, right? I'm with you, sister. I can feel it, right? But at the same time, we can't ignore the elephant in the room, right? We can't just pretend like we are blind and we don't see any of this happening. It's good that people are calling it out, but the way that people are calling it out is just so icky. And I feel like the internet, oh my God, I hate the internet. It just feels like two people are screaming at each other, right? We have the Ariana Grande fans that are basically saying she's healthy. She's literally been skinny her whole life. And the way they're approaching it is not even genuine because it's to me, it's giving like, yeah, I just don't want people to talk shit about my fave. Like, just shut up. Like, let me just enjoy the music and let me go to the tour. Why are you guys being negative about this person that I love? And I'm projecting so much onto them. And when you attack them, it feels like an attack to me. That's what it sounds like to me. Like they don't really care about the bigger picture. And then we have the other side that are like, no, I know she has an ED, right? I read her diary in 2011 and she wrote that and I have a picture of it that I took and they're just going at each other back and forth. And I'm like, there's not a productive conversation happening. And that's what's been happening for like the last couple of years. Like that's why I've never talked about this because I'm like, every time I see it, I get a headache because it just feels like a bunch of stupid people just screaming at each other. And you're just like, you're all dumb. You're all fucking stupid. There's no productive conversation being had here. And that's my biggest issue with this. But also on the other side of the crazy people that are so obsessed with pointing out that Ariana Grande has an ED for some reason, like the way they're acting is so crazy. I saw a comment on TikTok that said, just wake me up when she's dead. Because I know that's what's going to happen. Just wait. And I'm like, what? It's so much projection. It's crazy. It's like, oh, when I had an ED, I ate that exact same chewing gum that she's having. I know 100% she has an ED. It's like, they're obsessed with pointing it out. Like, it's like, okay, what are you going to gain from that? Okay, here's your cookie. Okay, confirmed. What do you gain from that? There's a lot of people online who are obsessed with telling people they have an ED for some reason. Like, you can't even say like, oh, I want to be snatched for the summer. ED, like, girl, no, I just want to have a flat stomach. Like, I'm sorry, I am allowed to want that. And I am not strict when it comes to stuff like that. If you tell me you're trying to lose weight, girl, I'll support you. Lose that weight, girl. Like, again, like, it doesn't have to be this extreme thing, like either or. It's okay to want to lose weight. It's okay to want to have a nice body. Now, if you want to unpack why we do that, you can do that. You can unpack that, or like the societal pressures, you can do that. I still want the flat stomach though. I still want to lose the weight. I still want to have the summer body. I still want to look good in my clothes. We shouldn't attack women and young girls for wanting things like that. It's one thing to obsess over. If that's all you care about and you're obsessed, yeah, then there's a problem. Like there's a potential issue there. But just saying like, I want to be snatched, like body tea, right? That's all I want. And people just attack you. No, bitch. No. Hell no. You're not going to do that to me. But that's just the internet. There's a lot of stupid people and we just have to deal with them. We just have to deal with them, bro. Oh my God. But at the end of the day, Ariana Grande is a grown woman. She's not a child. She's 33 years old. And she knows the conversations that are being had on the internet. She's not oblivious to it, right? And you have to take some responsibility at one point. And people will call you out when you look extremely unhealthy, but you're saying this is you at your healthiest. Especially when you have a lot of young girls looking up to you. Like you can't remove that. You can't take that away from the conversation, right? Like people can't just be like, no, but she's not responsible for that. but she kind of weirdly is though. You know what I mean? It comes with the territory. Like, you're famous. You're one of the most famous singers in the world. Why would people not react like this when they see you looking like this, right? And I'm not saying you should be shamed and you should be attacked. No, nobody wants that. I don't want that. But let's be fucking for real. And whether she cares or not doesn't matter. Either way, she's still very famous and she's still very, very influential. And a lot of young girls are looking up to her. So when people try to dismiss these conversations by saying like, oh, why are you guys obsessed with her body? Like, she's not responsible for every single... We didn't say she's responsible for every single young girl that looks up to her. No, but that just comes with a job. Right? Like, she knows she signed up for it. She's been famous for this long. But everybody's being so weird, so no productive conversation is being had. So I guess we're just kind of stuck here. But that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I know this is a very sensitive topic, but let me know what you guys think in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.